have you to try to set up a little bit of, what do they call, diversification. So I'm not dependent on
and Marty, with film preservation.
Well, the film preservations came out of a desire of, a love of these old movies that came out of the Hollywood system that I really adore. And not only to preserve them, but also to restore them, preserve them, and have them shown properly. But that also means foreign cinema, too. And I did a film documentary on a kind of a journey through American cinema, which meant that it was my personal view of American cinema, because for me, the first film that was ever made was Duel in the Sun. That's the first one I saw by title. So then I went backwards from there, and then went this way, and then I didn't, in the documentary, which turned out to be 3 hours and 46 minutes or so, I didn't really talk about the films that were the average, the type of picture that wins the Academy Award and that sort of thing. It was more like B films, or films made off on a tangent in a way, and different types of directors and writers and actors and that sort of thing. And I'm beginning another one now in Italian cinema, which we hope Cecchi Gori will finance.
What does it start with?
It starts with Paisan, because that was the first one I saw on television in New York, 1948. I was 6 years old. Paisan, and then Open City, then Shoeshine, and going up from there all the way up to Antonioni, up to the 1970, I'd say. And so the idea of these things is to get the word out, because when we were younger, the word was gotten out by people like, Richard Schickel doing The Men Who Made the Movies. Prior to him, the French and the Italian. The French and the British critics, see what was happening in the late 50s. I was becoming aware of film that I might be interested in making movies, but how can you make them from the neighborhood I came from? It's like, you might as well say you're going to be an astronaut. Who knew? So we start to look at all these films. I had an obsession with all kinds of films, including foreign films, because I like to read the subtitles in these French pictures and Italian films and that sort of thing. But by the late 50s, the word got around that the only serious filmmaking is foreign. Only Ingmar Bergman, only, Fellini, only this. So for about 2 or 3 years, we rejected all the American films. But I had grown up on American films. And then by 1962 or 63, Andrew Sarris brought in some of the auteur theory, quote unquote, which has been much maligned, but had some very interesting things about it, into America. And I read the articles and I realized, wait a minute. I don't have to be ashamed of liking American films or saying that only foreigners make more serious work. And so therefore, American cinema opened up again and validated for me my original reactions to it, but also opened up like a treasure trove of these things, because now silent films are being restored. I'm telling you, you look at a silent film restored, it's a whole other world. You can see them properly. It's a whole other world. And so in a funny way, what I'm trying to do is do a similar thing that those critics or those writers did at that time, for us to at least, you never know, a film gets shown, a documentary, and some kid in the Midwest sees The Golden Coach by Renoir. It might become a writer, an actor, director, I don't know, musician, composer. It's throwing it back out there and letting it stir up, because there's a real problem now, as I said before, that the American public has been told that they don't like to read subtitles, you see. So there's more an aversion to that sort of thing. But if you show, I've co-distributed some foreign classics in new restored versions, like Rocco and His Brothers, Golden Coach, and a bunch of others, Purple Noon and Contempt. Seen on a big screen, maybe you might be sparking some creativity out there.